Hello? Sorry, this thing's a piece of crap. I can't even see it. Guys, my webcam is like $1,000. Thing doesn't even work. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to my updated NFL 2022 Draft Big Board version 2.0. And I'm going to give you guys kind of a quick overwrite. First, let me go through the board. If you guys want to screenshot it, you want to quickly look at it, maybe you don't want to hear me talk about all the players. This is the total big board that I just updated yesterday, I believe. We've got some guys in the hunt, and then I've got some guys down here. So we got a lot of stuff to get to. I do have the current trend based on, where these guys are at from my 1.0 big board. But how I'm going to lay this out is I'm going to go ahead and do my 2.0 big board today. My 3.0 version will come out after the combine. My 4.0 version will come out on April 1st. It's not April Fool's, guys. Maybe I should do an April Fool's big board. But then my 5.0 and my final big board will come out and will be unveiled sometime a few days before the actual 2022 draft, late April. I think the draft is the 29th, I believe. But let's get into it. Like I've been saying, Nakobe Dean is my #1 overall player. We still have the combine coming up, so we'll see with him. But I love Nakobe Dean. I am not concerned. People say he's too small. I think he's just the exact mold you want in a modern-day linebacker. It's kind of like Micah Parsons. People are like, well, is he a linebacker? Is he a pass rusher? He's a hybrid. It's just like Nakobe Dean is a hybrid inside-outside linebacker. That's what he is. Patrick Willis probably isn't the proper comparison. I was thinking of a more athletic, better version of Roquan Smith, who is also from Georgia, but he is my clear #1 trend. Obviously, he's going to be up, although in my big board 1.0, I was still really high on him. I had him 6th overall. Moving on to #2, it is George Carloftis, who is just an absolute specimen, absolute bully from Greece. He ended up going to Purdue. He is up 5 spots. Guys, if you don't know about this kid's past, he was a highly rated recruit. He got tons of pressures, and this is a guy in the NFL, just such a unique skill set. I don't think people really know where to rank him. I've got him comped to Joey Bosa, although I think he is bigger than Joey Bosa. And then I also have my true factor, which is what are the chances they're actually going to be a bust, 10 being they're guaranteed to hit. I've upgraded several players. We're going to zoom this out a little bit. Should we zoom this out? See, why is there 200? All right, we'll just leave it like this, I guess. It is what it is. Moving on to #3, Kyle Hamilton. He debuted in my big board 1.0 as my #1 overall player. He only moved down due to guys moving up ahead of him. General maintenance, Justin Simmons comparison. Great player. Imagine if he actually fell to the Denver Broncos and you had the safety combination of Kyle Hamilton and Justin Simmons. I would love to see that happen. This kid's going to be unbelievable. He's going to be a stud in the NFL. Evan Neal, down 1 spot. He's going to be a stud. Got him comps to Trent Williams. Nothing to talk about there. Ahmad Gardner is still my CB1 by far. Sticky, long, athletic. Those are the key things I look for in cornerbacks. He checks all those boxes. Have him compared to Jalen Ramsey. Feel very confident about that. He's down 1 spot due to general maintenance. And then Carson Strong sitting at #6, my #1 overall quarterback. Maybe a little bit aggressive, had him at #2 in my first, moved him down 4 spots. My NFL comp is, we're going to have to see with Carson Strong at the combine. A lot of these guys are either going to move up or down boards. Right now, Carson Strong, kind of a fringe first-round pick according to a lot of people. I just rate these guys off of how I think, how well I think they're going to do in the NFL. And Carson Strong is a guy I absolutely love. Down 4, maybe I had him a bit too high at #2 in my 1.0 big board. But again, a little bit less athletic, less mobile Josh Allen. He's got a huge arm that fits that Josh Allen mold. Garrett Wilson, #7. I actually moved him up 1 spot from my 1.0 big board. He's a stud. He's the clear #1 receiver in this class. He's far and away better than everyone. It's all about route running, guys. Don't worry about the numbers. He'll run 4.47, whatever. It's not, the speed. It's the route running. It's the route tree that he has, the advanced route tree. Love Garrett Wilson, and I've changed my NFL comp with Garrett Wilson from Justin Jefferson to Calvin Ridley. I think he fits the Calvin Ridley that mold a little bit more. Then we have Aidan Hutchinson at #8. He's down 3 spots. I think Aidan Hutchinson is still going to stay in my top 10 throughout the entire process or around there. I will say his combine numbers are probably not going to be extremely impressive, but I love the comparison to Max Crosby. I think he's more of a pressures guy than he is a sacks guy. That's not a bad thing, but I think he's more pressures than sacks in the NFL. At number 9, it's going to be Ikem Ekwonu, who I actually had when I did my Jaguars mock drafts, 32 mock drafts in 32 days. I had him going number 1 overall to the Jaguars over Evan Neal. I'm not ready to move him ahead of Evan Neal right now, but this dude is a beast. Maybe the Orlando pace comparison is a little bit aggressive, right? It's a little bit aggressive, but I did move him up 7 spots. I was going to move him to like number 3, honestly, but I was just like, let's calm down. Let's see how he tests at the combine. Let's see how big he actually is, but he is huge. He's from NC State. Then we've got Kayvon Thibodeaux at number 10. Just concerned about the college production, but he is one of those freak athletes that's like impossible to really move down your board too much. It's just impossible to move him down because he's such a freak. And he's going to do so well at the combine. So he stays at number 10. Drake London, the clear number 2 receiver in this class. If you're looking for a bigger receiver, Drake London is actually the wide receiver 1 because he's significantly bigger than Garrett Wilson. But he is, I mean, when you compare every receiver, Garrett Wilson is far and away the number 1 wide receiver. Drake London is far and away the number 2 receiver. There's no question in my mind. He is up 1 spot. I like that Michael Thomas comparison. You could also go with Mike Evans. A lot of people have. Derek Stingley Jr. from LSU. So a lot people ask, why is the LSU color pink? I think I just did it by accident and it looked cool, so I just kept it. But, you know, this is a kid, unbelievable true freshman year for a cornerback. Unbelievable. You rarely see a true freshman play that well at the cornerback position. Kind of phoned it in the last 2 years. Didn't really want to play. LSU wasn't as good, but, you know, still a lot of talent. Love the Marshawn Lattimore comparison. He's got that athletic mold, and he is actually down 3 spots, but I still like him as a top 15 player. Matt Corral coming in at number 13 from Ole Miss. Love the Matt Stafford comp. He stays at number 13 and my QB2. Not much to talk about there. Tyler Linderbaugh, the center, the only center in this, you know, top 32, is down 3 spots. That's just based on general maintenance. I love Tyler Linderbaugh. If you are looking for a center, he is your guy. It's just, will teams want to invest a high first-round pick on a true center? That's why he's probably going to fall down a little bit, not to his ability. He's got great ability, and he's going to be a great center that's going to make several All-Pro teams. Then we've got my guy, David Bell, coming in at number 15 from Purdue. Love the Cooper Kupp comparison. He's up 2 spots. I just love receivers, so I'm going to be impartial. You actually take a look at the trend. All the receivers up 1, up 2. So I just love receivers. It's my favorite position. And David Bell, I'm so high on David Bell. If the Browns could get David Bell in the second round, I would be ecstatic. He's the guy that's going to move up the boards. It's just such a Cooper Kupp mold. So good. Devin Lloyd up 7 spots, coming in at number 16. Really solid linebacker. Really impressed. Hybrid modern day. Comparing him to Devin Bush of the Pittsburgh Steelers in terms of his overall play. I don't know what pick did Devin Bush go. Maybe I forget, but he went in the first round of the Steelers. I know that. Then we've got the guy that's actually moved up the board the most, and it is Brian Asimoah, who I absolutely love as a hybrid linebacker. I always take him when I'm doing the 32 teams, the 32 mocks in 32 days. You can get him in like the 3rd round, but PFF does have him at like 30th overall on their big board, I think. Love this dude. Had to move him up, no doubt, up 12 spots. David Ojabo is down 4 spots. I've got him comped to Chandler Jones. Don't love that comparison. I may need to update it. But with Ojabo, I don't know. I'm just not feeling it with him right now. I'm not feeling it. Maybe it's just I haven't scouted him enough, but moved him down 4 spots. And then Malik Willis, this is the first guy to actually appear, a new guy from Big Board 1.0. Malik Willis was not in my top 32 in my first edition of this Big Board. He is here. He's at number 19. He had a phenomenal Senior Bowl. He's a guy that the Pittsburgh Steelers are looking at. Other teams are looking at. You're probably going to see him going at least top 15 with a team trading up to get him. That would be my expectation, but he's a guy that slots in at my QB number 3 right now going into the combine. Then we've got Chris Olave, who's actually up 4 spots. The reason I moved Chris Olave up, I just think he's a sure thing. My concerns with Olave are his ability to absorb contact. He actually had some issues. He looked really small in college, and if you look really small and you're a receiver, like his just overall stature looks small. He looked like he weighed about 110 pounds. That's going to translate rough to the NFL. You're really going to look small, basically like a midget at the NFL level. So that's my main concern with Chris Olave. But Chris Olave, I will say, just so smooth. He's so smooth, such a smooth, crisp route runner. Love the dude. He contributed all 3 years at Ohio State, or actually 4 years. I forgot. I think he stayed for his senior year. So he is number 20. I just think he's more of a sure thing. My only concerns are, will his body be able to absorb the NFL level hits? Then at number 21, we've got kind of an interesting offensive tackle prospect, Nicholas Petit Ferrari, who I have down 3 spots. That's really just due to general maintenance. I've got him compared to Ronnie Stanley. A lot of people don't know this guy was actually a top 10 overall player in his recruiting class, 5-star. He's got the length, he's got the build, he had good numbers, was kind of, I don't know, overshadowed at Ohio State. Nobody talked about him, but you look at his PFF numbers, not a lot of pressures allowed. Really like him. Number 22, going with Bailey Zappy. So I was really aggressive with Bailey Zappy, making him my QB3 in my first big board. He's moving down to my QB4. Got him compared to Justin Herbert. I think many people are concerned, that he's from Western Kentucky, and we've seen these quarterbacks put up crazy numbers at Western Kentucky, but this kid has a much stronger arm and better pocket presence and pocket awareness than those quarterbacks. That's why he is number 22 on my big board. I don't look at anyone else's big board when I do this. It's just who are the best players to me. That's why you're going to see some guys that you might not see on other big boards in my big board. Number 23, it's going to be Jaquan Brisker, who I have loved from day one from Penn State. Malcolm Jenkins, love the comparison. Hard-hitting, heavy-hitting safety. He is down 3 spots. That's mainly due to general maintenance. All these guys moving down is mainly due to maintenance of other guys just moving above them. And then Sam Howell at number 24. I did move him up 2 spots. I loved Sam Howell in the preseason, like before the season started for college football. He's probably the most talented thrower of the football, very similar to Baker Mayfield, and he'll make some just absurdly crazy high-level throws, but then he also makes some throws that make you scratch your head. So he's up to 24 right now. The Baker Mayfield comparison, everyone uses it. It's spot on. He really plays just like Baker Mayfield. He has the same throwing and everything. So he's at number 24. I do think he will be picked in the first round by someone, probably towards the back end, somebody trading up for him. Trevor Penning, who is another new guy into my big board. He is a massive mammoth offensive tackle from Northern Iowa, and I think a team like the Cincinnati Bengals are going to zero in on this kid personally. I believe he's 6'7", 325. We'll have to see how he does at the combine. A little raw. You're going to get that from a kid from Northern Iowa. But yeah, this kid is huge, and I think he fits Cincinnati late in the first round really well. We know they're going to be picking very likely picking an offensive tackle. Next, at 26, we have Kenny Pickett. So Kenny Pickett is up 4 spots. I don't love Kenny Pickett personally. It's just my opinion. I do have him compared to Alex Smith. I know some people have him as QB1. I will never put Kenny Pickett quarterback 1. I think he's too small. I think, he has small hands. He didn't perform well at the Senior Bowl, but more so, a lot of people don't remember. This guy had 1 really good year. That's great, but his first 3 years in college were not very good. They were extremely average, maybe even below average. So Kenny Pickett, don't love him. He is up 4 spots, but he's not going to move up past any of these other quarterbacks, in my opinion. Number 27, we've got our 1 tight end on the big board. It is Trey McBride, the big tight end from Colorado State. This tight end class is very underrated. There's a lot of guys that you could put on the fringe first rounder, but I did decide to go with him. TJ Hawkinson is my comp right now. Love this kid. A lot of big-bodied catchers. We'll have to see how this kid does at the combine. It should be fun. 28, another cornerback that's moving up the boards. It is Kyler Gordon from Washington, and I do have him ranked higher than Trent McDuffie. Kind of Greg Newsome comparison. Smaller guy, but still really good. I think he is 6 foot even. That's kind of my cutoff for being a cornerback. 5'11". It's tough. Trent McDuffie is 5'11". Maybe he'll measure better at the combine. I don't know. but I do have Kyler Gordon as the better cornerback, mainly due to size right now. 29 is going to be Andrew Booth Jr., who did crack this list. He is another guy that's new on the list. I do have him comped to Eli Apple. Andrew Booth Jr., kind of a bigger, I think he is 6'1", similar to Gordon a little bit, but I do like Booth Jr. I like his overall athleticism at 6'1". Number 30th, I'm still sticking with Cameron Thomas. It's not a great comp. Solomon Thomas is my comp, kind of one of those athletic, big pass rushers that are real good athletes. You're going to probably hear really good things about him at the Combine. I probably will move him outside of my top 32, though. And then these two guys, I really just put them there for continuity. Wandel Robinson, it's going to all depend on what he measures at the Combine in terms of his weight. In terms of his height. If he's 5'11", he's going to get moved outside my top 50. If he's 6 foot, I'll probably leave him in the first round. And then Mykel Wright at number 32, kind of my top slot cornerback. I didn't want to move him down just yet. And then the guys in the hunt that I was thinking about moving up, DeMarvin Leal, who's a big boy. Want to see how he does at the Combine. He's so close. Desmond Ridder. I've compared him to Carson Wentz. Really interesting quarterback prospect. You could see him going from anywhere from like 7th overall to not even being picked in the first round. The receiver, Burks from Arkansas, for me, is Corey Davis 2.0. Don't love him. I probably have him as my wide receiver 6th right now. Myjai Sanders, really interesting pass rusher from Cincinnati. Braxton Jones, huge offensive tackle from Southern Utah. I've been watching. George Pickens. It's going to be very interesting to see how he does at the Combine. After that injury, he's a freak. If he didn't have that injury before the season started, this is a guy that would probably be top 15, top 3 wide receivers. He is very, very impressive. His physical stature is. Kobe Bryant, the cornerback from Cincy, is another guy I really like. Kinnard, the offensive tackle from Kentucky, was actually 16th, I believe, on my first big board. I still do think this dude is really underrated. If you look at his PFF grade the past 2 years in SEC play, granted, I know it's the SEC East. It's not great, but he's had a grade of like a 91, and he's big. He fits the profile as an offensive tackle. That could be another guy that, teams target maybe at the top of the second round. Logan Hall and Travis Jones are two of the guys that I love on the defensive side of the football. Travis Jones is huge. You're talking about a true DT. Logan Hall too, but Travis Jones is impressive. And then some guys I have concerns with. You'll see a lot of these guys in other people's top 32s. Jordan Davis, it's so tough for me. It's just the motor I'm concerned with. If Jordan I would have Jordan Davis probably inside my top 15. If you think about it, Jordan Davis is more disruptive when he's ready to go. He's more disruptive than Derek Brown was from Auburn, and Derek Brown went 9th overall. I was just thinking about that yesterday. But Jordan Davis, it's tough. There's been motor concerns. He gets tired after 2 plays, so that is why he is not on my big board. Trent McDuffie, I'm concerned. Is he seriously 5'11"? We'll have to see what he measures at the Combine. Green, the offensive guard from A&M, just don't love him. Do not love him. To me, he's a true guard. People say he's a tackle as well. I think he's a true guard. Don't love him. Jameson Williams, very limited route tree, but there are fits for Jameson Williams, particularly the Pittsburgh Steelers. If you let Juju Smith-Schuster go in free agency, you've got Deontay Johnson, you've got Chase Claypool, you need a speed guy in the slot. That's a perfect fit for Williams. Perfect. He needs the right fit, though. You're not going to have this guy going 13th overall to the Browns who need a wide receiver 1. Garrett Wilson is a wide receiver 1. Jameson Williams is a complimentary piece. That's how I view it. Charles Cross, I think he's a bust. I'll just say it. And then Jihad Dotson there's major concerns with his size, similar to Chris Olave, but I actually think he's an inch smaller than Olave. And Olave, while he did drop some passes, I think Olave does have good hands. I know he did drop some passes at Ohio State in his senior year. But those are just my that's my updated top 32 big board. As you guys can see, there's going to be massive changes after the Combine. Like everyone is going to change their big boards, things like that. But just my updated one, again, my 3.0 version will be coming out after the Combine, probably March 8th or March 9th. My 4.0 will be coming out right around April 1st, and then my 5.0 big board, which will be my final version of it, will be coming out right before the draft, probably like a few days before it. I don't want to put it up like the day before it. I want to give time to let people view it. But it will be expanded, by the way. That's the other thing. It's going to be expanded to a top 50, and then eventually I will expand it to a top 75. by my last one. So when the update comes after the combine, it's going to get expanded to a top 50. Right now, it's just a top 32, kind of for all like the first round picks, whatever. Guys, I currently have a first round grade on, but that is going to do it for this video, guys. Make sure you are following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.